In the celestial tapestry of love, the planets whisper tales of attraction, compatibility, and growth. Astrology, with its ancient wisdom, offers a language to understand the complex dance between two souls. One of the most intriguing aspects in relationship astrology is the conjunction of Saturn and Venus, a celestial encounter where discipline meets desire and responsibility intertwines with the allure of love. This aspect, often dubbed the Saturn-Venus hug, speaks to a relationship's potential for lasting commitment, but not without its share of challenges. This celestial dance of stability and affection is beautifully illustrated in the high-profile relationship of Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez, famously known as Bennifer. Their reunion, a testament to enduring love, offers a fascinating glimpse into the dynamics of Saturn conjunct Venus. In relationship astrology for Bennifer, when one person's Saturn conjuncts another person's Venus, it creates a dynamic that can be both stabilizing and challenging, depending on other factors in the relationship and the individual charts. Saturn symbolizes structure, discipline, and responsibility, while Venus represents love, pleasure, and affection. This conjunction often brings a serious, committed energy to the Venus person's expressions of love, fostering a sense of duty and obligation that can lead to long-term commitment. The Saturn person, Ben, may provide stability and security, making the Venus person, Jennifer, feel supported and protected. However, Saturn's energy can also feel restrictive, leading the Venus person to sometimes feel confined in their expression of love and affection. This relationship can be a profound learning experience for both individuals. The Venus person may gain insights into the importance of responsibility and boundaries in love, while the Saturn person may learn to embrace more warmth and affection. Challenges can arise, particularly if the Saturn person becomes overly critical or demanding. The Venus person might feel unappreciated, or that they must work hard to earn the Saturn person's approval, creating tension in the relationship. Despite these difficulties, Saturn's influence often signals the potential for longevity. If both partners are willing to work through the obstacles and respect each other's needs, this aspect can foster a deep and lasting bond. This aspect often works better when both individuals are mature or when there is a significant age difference, as Saturn's influence can sometimes feel paternal or authoritative. Additionally, this conjunction is highly favorable in business relationships. Saturn, being a prominent business planet when combined with Venus, can create a powerful placement for those in the arts, as seen in the example of Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez, who met while working on the film Giggly. Many artists, particularly actors, are born with significant Venus-Saturn aspects. The overall synastry between the two charts plays a crucial role in how this conjunction manifests. Harmonious aspects between other planets can ease the tension, while challenging aspects may intensify difficulties. The signs and houses where Saturn and Venus are placed add further layers to the interpretation. For example, Saturn in Capricorn might handle this energy well, while Venus in Leo might struggle with it. Since Jennifer Lopez has Venus in Gemini, Ben's Saturn aspect brings lessons around communication, duality, the love of freedom, variety, change, and focus in relationships. For those willing to put in the effort, this aspect can be highly rewarding, but it requires both partners to carefully navigate the balance between love and responsibility. Friendship and independence are key desires for relationships with Aquarius on the 7th house, as in Jennifer's chart. With the ruler in the 3rd house, communication is again emphasized, a theme echoed by Venus in Gemini. However, with Jupiter in this position, these themes are even more pronounced, potentially leading to a challenge of maintaining ongoing excitement and avoiding boredom. As for Jennifer's future, more marriages seem likely, possibly 2 more. This can be seen by counting the number of applying aspects the Sun makes in her chart, which totals 6. Ironically, the name of her first album was On the 6. Another intriguing aspect to explore in Jennifer Lopez's chart is the influence of the traditional and modern rulers of her relationship house. Saturn, the traditional ruler, and Uranus, the modern ruler, both offer insights into the type of partner she seeks. With Saturn in her 10th house, she is drawn to partners who can elevate her career and status, placing a strong emphasis on public relationships. She may even attract partners through her career. Both interpretations hold validity. Currently, Bennifer is navigating two significant astrological challenges. By solar arc, Saturn in her 12th house in Cancer squares her Uranus, Jupiter, emphasizing emotional lessons in love and unresolved emotional issues. Additionally, transiting Pluto is opposing both her ascendant and Sun, signaling profound changes that will transform her deeply. This period marks a time of recovery and discovery regarding her love needs and the type of partner she desires. These are not light cycles, they represent milestones that will bring about a personal rebirth, making the upcoming year one of a significant transformation. Pluto's transit through her 7th house highlights themes of power dynamics facing fears, endings, and control, major shifts that will impact her relationships and personal growth. Legal issues may arise with Pluto moving through the 7th house, potentially leading to heated disputes. The lyrics to "My Love Don't Cost a Thing" might need a revision, as love could come with a hefty price tag. Additionally, transiting Saturn is square her natal Venus. Throughout the summer, this aspect contributed significantly to the separation. This cycle is a classic indicator of hard work or distance in relationships, often teaching valuable lessons in love. Saturn, however, can also bring recognition and reward if one has acted with integrity. While the 7th house is traditionally the main area to examine for relationship matters, especially after multiple marriages, the derivative house system can offer insights into the specific partner one attracts with each new relationship. Bennifer's first spouse, Ojani Noah, is associated with the 7th house. Her second spouse, Chris Judd, is linked to the 9th house, 2 houses from the 7th. Mark Anthony, her third spouse, is connected to the 11th house, 2 houses from the 9th. Finally, Ben Affleck, her 4th spouse, is governed by the ascendant, 2 houses from the 11th. Interestingly, Ben and Bennifer share similar traits, as partners described by the ascendant often reflect oneself. Both have Leo suns with Scorpio moons. Her potential 5th marriage would be ruled by the 3rd house, and her 6th marriage by the 5th house. After the 6th marriage, the cycle returns to the 7th house on the chart wheel. It's worth noting that Glyn Scotty Wolfe, a former Baptist minister, holds the record for the most monogamous marriages by a man, with 29. Over time, there may be recurring traits in the partners one attracts. Certain astrological combinations are often cautioned against in relationship interpretations. 2 combinations that typically receive a red flag are Venus, Saturn, and Mars, Pluto. Ben and Bennifer's charts feature the former, which can stabilize but may lack longevity. Mars-Pluto combinations, on the other hand, can lead to abusive dynamics, though the entire chart must be considered. In Bennifer's chart, a challenging aspect between Venus and Pluto highlights themes of control, jealousy, and greed that need attention. While Saturn's influence on Venus might bring some stability, such a pairing is usually short-lived. The 7th house ruler remains the most significant factor in the chart for understanding relationships. With Capricorn on the cusp of Ben Affleck's 7th house, relationships, he approaches partnerships with a sense of commitment, caution, duty, and respect for traditional conventions. The ruler of this house is positioned in the 12th house, highlighting a strong need for privacy in his relationships. Since Saturn, the ruling planet, is in Gemini, this need for privacy specifically manifests in his communication. He values private, intimate conversations. Themes like caretaking, fears, secrets, past life connections, and matters hidden from view are significant in his relationships. The 12th house can be thought of as the mask one wears, but it is also a source of great inner strength, despite being unfairly characterized as the trash bin of the zodiac. In Ben's case, with Gemini on the cusp, his strength lies in using his intellect to generate new ideas and conduct research. The aspect of Saturn squaring the midheaven suggests that while Ben is ambitious, he places a high value on keeping his partnerships out of the public eye. The 1 Saint/7th house axis, representing the relationship dynamic, plays a key role in his chart. The moon forms an exact semi-square, and while some might consider this a minor aspect, it is important due to the connection between the ruling planets. This connection brings irritations in relationships, particularly around emotions, communication, sex, romance, and ideas. A key consideration is that when one planet in the configuration receives an aspect, the other planet is also affected, creating a double whammy. Jennifer Lopez's This Is Me Now project revealed intimate details about her love life, which likely didn't sit well with Ben. Privacy is paramount for him, especially with a 12th house planet ruling his 7th house and a Scorpio moon. This may have been a tipping point for him. I suspect this is the main reason she canceled her tour earlier this year. At the time of their divorce announcement, transiting Saturn was hitting 3 major points in his chart, conjuncting his midheaven, bringing lessons around career and reputation, squaring his natal Saturn, raising challenges in relationship security, and sesquiquadrating his moon, indicating possible separation from a female figure. While Saturn often brings recognition and growth when lessons are mastered, it can also have a separating influence. Progressed Venus plays a crucial role, having moved into Virgo, a sign of its fall. When a planet is in fall, it tends to feel exiled, disrespected, and diminished, which may have contributed to feelings of abandonment in the relationship. However, we can't just blame the planets. Personal responsibility plays a crucial role in behavior. Venus in Virgo has a tendency to be overly critical and nitpicky. With progressed Venus conjunct Mars, there was likely significant tension, as the Venus-Mars combination can indicate conflict and disagreements. 6 years ago, Ben experienced 2 significant astrological events. Solar arc Saturn was square his moon, and solar arc moon was opposite his natal Saturn, coinciding with his divorce from Jennifer Garner. Looking ahead, there is the potential for another marriage in Ben's future. A traditional astrological technique suggests that for men, the number of applying aspects from the moon can indicate the potential for marriage, and Ben's chart shows 3 major applying aspects. Astrology has many applications. Another method I use is Dobereiner's Munich rhythms. Between the ages of 56 and 63, Venus, the ruler of his 5th house, will be activated. This period will likely be a time of increased popularity, perhaps even bringing him another Oscar, Golden Globe, or significant career recognition. Love may also blossom during this time, and there is a strong possibility of another marriage. According to the derivative house system, the 11th house represents 3rd marriages, and with Venus intercepted in this house, the next relationship could begin as a friendship. The introduction to this person may come through mutual friends, and time will tell how this unfolds. In astrology, composite charts are used to explore the dynamics of a relationship between 2 people. This chart is created by calculating the midpoints between the planets and points in both individuals' natal charts, resulting in a relationship chart. The idea is that the relationship itself has its own distinct energy, separate from the individuals involved. Here's how it works. Midpoints. Calculation. The positions of planets in each person's natal chart are averaged to find the exact midpoint. For example, if one person's sun is at 10 degrees Aries and the other's is at 20 degrees Aries, the composite sun would be at 15 degrees Aries. Relationship dynamics. The composite chart doesn't describe each person's personality, but rather how the relationship functions as a unit. It highlights key themes, challenges, and areas of harmony. Interpretation. A composite chart is interpreted like a natal chart, but the focus is on the relationship itself. For example, Sun represents the core identity and purpose of the relationship. Moon reflects the emotional tone and how feelings are shared. Venus indicates love, attraction, and affection within the relationship. Aspects and houses show how different areas of life, such as communication, shared goals, and challenges, are influenced by the relationship. Applicable to any relationship. While often used for romantic connections, composite charts are also valuable in understanding friendships, business partnerships, and family relationships. However, I recommend using the composite chart after thoroughly analyzing the individual natal charts, progressions, transits, and interaspects, the aspects one person brings to the other. Sometimes interaspects reveal a lot of depth. while the composite chart can seem contradictory. That's why I consider it less of a priority. Take, for instance, the case of Bennifer 2.0, Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck. One striking aspect in their composite chart is Venus square Pluto, which points to trust issues and matters beyond their control. In Gemini and Virgo, this aspect emphasizes themes around communication, media scrutiny, and everyday life. Interestingly, Jennifer has this exact Venus-Pluto aspect in her own chart, so she brings this dynamic strongly into the relationship. While Affleck's chart shows a similar aspect, it's weaker as it's separating, so the emphasis remains on Lopez. A key point is that comparing the composite chart with each individual's natal chart can offer even more insights. There's also a more advanced technique that's particularly important in relationship astrology, adding one person's solar arc age to the other's. This reveals what one person is bringing into the relationship at a specific time. However, I approach this method cautiously. The primary focus should always start with natal analysis, forecasting, and comparing charts. Only after that should techniques like composite charts and solar arcs come into play. Check out composite charts on Jada and Will Smith, Donald Trump and his ex-wives.
Our trusted and accurate psychics can answer all your questions from relationships to business and everything in between. Their talents range from psychic channeling to tarot to astrology. Our psychics are carefully screened before hire and continuously monitored. They have made several accurate global and worldly predictions in our newsletter, shocking all our viewers. Phone 1-800-498-8777 or online at absolutelypsychic.com. A better tomorrow starts now.